Howdy. Travel. You need a lot of time, you need a lot of money for travel. But if you're working, you've got no time. If you're not working, you have time, but you have no money. So we create a series about investment property. So you can have time and money to travel. Join me on one of my tours, Adventure Aid Tours. I recently recorded a number of lounge room seminars. We had a group of people who also had a vested interest in understanding how to get involved in property. So I'll be doing a couple of series here. Subscribe to Greeny Flick's channel, click the notifications button, and you will then be advised when the next one is released. So any questions, make comments, question, like, dislike. I'd love to get your feedback. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it. Get time and money. Maybe you can join one of my Adventure Aid tours, four-wheel drive tours around Australia, or motorcycle tours anywhere, somewhere in the world. See you on the road, or enjoy the series. So, okay, going back a little bit. From the sales of typewriters, got into IT selling. This is important because whatever job you get into, it's important to be good at your job, get as much education in your job, so that you can actually generate a reasonable amount of income. You want to be able to get more income than what you're spending. Any surplus income that's the part that you can actually use to actually leverage with appropriate formulas, so that you can actually start to get involved in investing. So we've got the why, now we're going on to the what. What do you have to do? Here's an interesting chart. What I've done is I've collected a whole bunch of charts, and these charts have been all published in the newspapers. Australian Financial Review is a recommended reading. It's probably I think it's the most important newspaper to read here in Australia. I think it's the most unbiased, and the information that usually gets published in Financial Review is then published in the other papers and editorials either on the same day or the day after. So it's always a good source of information. But this one was published in 2018 and actually compared, not that you can see right now, but on those watching the replay on this will have a clearer picture of this. It actually compares residential property to shares, to cash, to bonds, and from 1926 to 2018. So it just shows a graph, right now. The relevance of this is that shares and property pretty much match. So depending on where your skill sets are, one might be better than the other. Bonds, as you can imagine, are lower because they're more secure and guaranteed by governments. And probably the worst that you could do is actually hold on to your cash, put it under your mattress. That's probably even worse. You can just put it under your mattress and then it just depreciates. Talk about shares. I tried some shares. I actually kept spreadsheets of my share performance over 20 years, and the first 18 years I just broke even. Now, am I a good representation of share investing? Absolutely not. What I found was, my advice to other people was, whatever you see me doing with shares, do the opposite and you'll probably make money. So I'm not the person to come to for share advice. Having said that, what I did find with the shares is that over the last 3 years or so, I actually invested some in IT shares because that was my expertise over the years, and I've made all my share money, a small amount, through that knowledge. So what's the lesson there? Become knowledgeable in what you're doing, and therefore you've got more chance of succeeding as well. So while we're on the subject of, I'll take my glasses off, this is long-sighted. That's the cat. Can we have the cat so we can show the cat at some stage? Another article And this, look, again, there's more charts here. Property, these charts are usually showing growth as a percentage, or when there's not much growth happening in the marketplace, it just goes down. So, like any chart, it just goes up and down. Again, it's not really so much important as far as what's on this chart, other than those charts are there and published. Okay, the Sydney market, right? You would have noticed that the pricing of housing has gone up quite a bit over the years, and in recent years the market's come off the boil a bit. And then with the articles in the newspapers, some are saying that it's bounced back, others saying that it's no good. There was an article in the paper today on TV saying that Hobart in Australia is the most unaffordable place to live now. They compare this to incomes, so that's the reason for that analysis. But anyway, a lot of these articles that come in the newspapers, they make predictions, and this was making predictions in 2017 that the peak of the market, this was by Biz Shrapnel, was making all sorts of predictions as far as the Australian housing market was concerned. They were predicting the peak around 2017 with a decline after that. It actually was true, and that's exactly what has happened. So there's more charts again, and again I won't go through those, it's a bit tedious right now. So we just covered off the what in property, shares, cash. Okay.